Guten Tag and welcome to Spielberg, Austria, aka the Red Bull Ring, for the Austrian Grand Prix. Now, after the last round, the French Grand Prix, where Jake Galloway took the fastest lap, pole, and of course the win, totally dominated the race. We'll see if he can keep up his hot streak of a win and go on to Austria and see if he can win 2 in a row. Previous 5 winners here in Austria have included Will Neller, Joseph Willows, Amar Khan and Franco Lopez, winning the last 2 seasons, 2020 and 2019. Now, of course, we are at round 9 of the championship, and sign-ups, wink wink, are going to be happening soon, so races are now getting very important. The tyres we'll be using for this race will be the medium tyres, and here is the practice top 10 classification, which had Franco Gamba top ahead of Chatfield, Lopez, Patel, Byrne, Perrin, Roke, Chung, Carr and Willows, the top 10. But yeah, as I said, sign-ups will be happening soon, so this race is going to be the starter of panic to see who is going to get what seat. But before that, we have a race to do, and this was the result of qualifying, and it was Rahul Patel who took pole position for the second time this season, ahead of Franco Lopez alongside him in the Mercedes. Row 2, Kirosa de Rosa for McLaren and Laura Chung for Lamborghini, very strong qualifier for Lamborghini. Row 3, Joseph Willis for McLaren and Amar Khan for Mercedes. Row 4, the previous race winner Jake Galloway and Franco Gamba. Row 5, we have Chris Chatfield for Ferrari and Jesus Perrin for Renault. Row 6, we have George Roke for Red Bull and Andrea Federi for Alfa Romeo. Very bad qualifying from both Red Bulls, by the way. 13th place, Miklos Gal for AlphaTauri and Roman Quarg 14th for Alfa Romeo. Evan Byrne, after his 5th place grid penalty, who had originally qualified 10th, he's 15th. Daniel Fraser 16th. Felix Sonntag 17th. Julius Anderson 18th. Row 10, Amelia Wilson 19th for Haas. And Jimmy was 20th for Williams. And Roland Morton, who had qualified 16th, but he also had a 5th place grid penalty from the last race in France. And alongside him in 22nd position is David Kupok for AlphaTauri. And some breaking news in the championship is that BMW will return to the top class for next season for the first time since 2009 via a partnership with McLaren, becoming the 6th engine manufacturer on the grid. And McLaren, as a result, will be becoming the BMW McLaren F1 team. Rolls off the tongue, that does. This will mean that McLaren will split with Renault at the end of the season, so it looks like Renault, both in-game and in real life, are having issues, to say the least. But we have a race to attend. It will be a 0% chance of rain. It will be a dry race, so can Rahul Patel get his first win in the top class with Lamborghini? We will find out very soon. And here we go, we are now on the grid, and as you can see, Patel may already have a tough ask because he's got 46 laps of fuel. It's deja vu for him because exactly the same thing happened in Australia, but the 5 laps are coming on here in Austria, and we are underway. But Patel does get a good launch off the lines to head towards the first corner, although Lopez has got a good start as well. The other Lamborghini of Chung trying to get through, but unable to, but Lopez goes around the outside and take the lead into the first corner. Patel already down to second, and look at the run that Lopez has got. They've got a huge run off of the first corner, but as I said, Patel has got a heavy fuel load, and actually so does De Rosa, but although his is slightly less than Patel, or if I say slightly less, about 5 or 6 laps less. Meanwhile, there's both Ferraris trying to make a move into the hairpin here. Galloway trying to pass Gamba. Somehow they avoid contact. Gamba goes a little bit wide. That could give Chatfield an opportunity to make his way through as they come down towards turn 3, essentially. And can Chatfield make a move on the inside? The answer is no, because he's way too far back. Meanwhile, Byrne, who's made a good start, he was quite far down the order. He's already up into 9th as the Alfa Romeo that he was passing there goes wide. And Jesus Perrin has got damage, and there's an Alfa Romeo that has got damage as well. And that is Andrea Federi. And this is the replay on board at the start, and we're going to see what has happened to the Italian. Well, I think we all know kind of what has happened, but as we look at them heading up towards the hairpin, and yep, Federi kind of goes into the back of Perrin, who himself got held up by the car in front. So Federi misses a front wing, and Perrin misses a rear wing. Meanwhile, this is Laura Chung attacking De Rosa for third, car right behind in this also special liveried Mercedes, and Chung does make it through up into P3. So a good move there as they head towards the end of the first lap, and now Carr is heading up towards the first corner as Lopez sets the fastest lap, and he is already bolted. And so now Carr, I should say, passes De Rosa for P4, sorry, coming into the first corner. I'm sounding like David Croft more and more now. But anyway, meanwhile, Jake Galloway is battling as the Red Bull is on his inside. Meanwhile, Chatfield tries to go for it on the inside but fails. But Gamba repasses Galloway for 6th place there. And so Chatfield unable to make a move stick. But As we said, Lopez already has got a 2.5 second lead, and he's seeing another fastest lap as meanwhile. This is Chung going past teammate Rahul Patel, and Chung, she moves up into second place. Now the question is, can she go after Lopez in front, because Lopez is already so far ahead, and Patel of course has not got the pace, seeing as he's on the one side of the car. Is he going to go around the outside of Patel, heading up towards turn 3? The answer is no, he doesn't, so he stays behind. Now Carl will have a go coming round into turn 8 through the fast right-hander, and he has made it stick. He is up now into the podium place, and now Gamba is close behind and could even make a move coming down the front straight, which he is doing right now. Gamba heading up on the inside of the Indian driver into the first corner, and yep, he is up into 4th place. Patel already down to 5th. This is going to be a very tough stint for him. Now he's got the 2 Ferraris behind, Galloway and Chatfield, although Chatfield's all over the back of Galloway. And now Galloway, meanwhile, is all over the back of Patel as they head up towards the first corner. And will Galloway make the move sticking into turn 1? I think he probably will, because I don't think Patel's got any defence. And Galloway is up now into the top 5. Patel down to P6, and now it might even be down to P7 soon enough if Chatfield can make a move. Head up towards, well, I say it's turn 3, because it's got this little left part of the circuit where they turn left, and that's counted as a corner. So it's looking at Lopez, who has got a 5.7 second lead at the front of the field, as meanwhile Moitian trying to go past Amelia Wilson for 14th place there, unable to do so. And meanwhile Evan Burns actually catching this gaggle of cars, and Bird himself made a great start. And oh, hold on, just as I was saying that, and would you believe it, Evan Byrne retires from the race. I mean, what can you say? I mean, I say it's commentator's curse, but he's had so much bad luck. It is absurd at this point. It is absolutely ridiculous how much bad luck Evan Byrne is having, and he retires once again, having made such a great start, and he's got a good amount of fuel as well, and he is out of the race, and it is a puncture that has caused his retirement. He's on a personal best as well, closing up to the battle for what was 6th place, and of course the car lets him down yet again. And again, not many of... The thing is, most of these retirements for Byrne are not even his fault. A lot of them are mechanical failures or crashes which aren't his fault. So, yeah, he is the unluckiest driver in the OC. There is no one even close. And meanwhile, we're looking at Jesus Perrin in the Renault, who of course pitted because of damage on the first lap, or getting hit by Federi. And, well, his car has just decided to disintegrate on impact, and yep, Renault's race is over. And yeah, and the wheels have come off literally for Renault in this race on lap 7, and they'll be getting on the first flight to Silverstone. But would you believe it, Perrin retires at exactly the spot where Byrne just retired. It is almost like a comedy sketch at this point. So Perrin is out, so both Renaults out within at exactly the same corner. And yeah, there's nothing really more to be said about that. But yeah, let's move on from that, shall we? And Paul Perrin as well. And however, Lopez, who was comfortably in the lead, has incredibly hit the wheel from Jesus Perrin, and he's going to have to pit for a new front wing. So that has handed Laura Chung the lead of this race. Armakar now up into 2nd, Gamba now into 3rd, Galloway 4th, and Lopez is going to be absolutely furious. He had the race in the bag, but he was so far out in front, and he was clearly the quickest car on the circuit, and the wheel from Perrin's car has well and truly screwed him over. Now he's going to be way out of the points. He can still easily recover because there's so long left of this race, and Lopez is going to come out, looks like, behind this battle between Willows and Daniel Fraser, and also behind Sontag, and also behind the AlphaTauri there of Kupok, as they're all battling for the outside of the points, as Sontag actually dives down the inside of Willows, who had been attacking Fraser, and Sontag makes the move up into P15. Now we're looking at Franco Lopez, who is now going to try and recover positions all the way down from 18th to 1st, where he was just a lap ago in 1st position. So, as I said, he's got plenty of time, so he can easily get himself back into the points. But the question is, where can he get himself into the points is the next question. And so, meanwhile, we're looking at Patel right now running in P6. Car does appear to be close to Chung, although needs to be a little bit closer if he wants to mount an attack on her. But to look at the rest of the order, there's George Rook, who's in a very lonely 10th position, hasn't exactly made much progress so far. Lopez, meanwhile, already has made progress. He's passed David Kupok, and I think he's about to go past the McLaren of Willers as well, heading down the front straight into towards the first corner. And Lopez already moving up 2 positions. He's now up to 16th. Next one on his list is Felix Sontag. Kupok there trying to look at Willows for 17th behind as well. Kupok meanwhile has got a heavy fuel load too. Car meanwhile, fuel load is not heavy, so it's probably going to be a 2-stop for him. Meanwhile, this is Amelia Wilson who's attacking George Roque in the Red Bull, heading up towards the first corner. And is Wilson going to make a move up the inside? The answer is no, but Roque goes extremely wide, and Wilson does make it through, and Roque doesn't lose any more positions, although he's lucky he wasn't, because Radomojin is all over his back. But of course they both got to look out because Lopez is coming, and he will be there very, very quickly. But George Roque not having a good start to this race. And meanwhile, this is Miguel Oscar, who's had a good first stint actually, who is on the inside of the McLaren of De Rossa, who is having the complete opposite, was running in third but has got heavy fuel, but Patel is seemingly managing to handle it better. So Gal now past De Rossa. Will Quag make it past De Rossa as well? Yes. Will he even try and get 2 drivers here? And the answer is yes. Quag gets both De Rossa and Gal within the space of a corner. Now De Rossa is going to try and re-overtake Gal. He's not got the run off the corner, but so let's have a look at the replay from Quag's point of view. And this was a great move by Quag. He already got past De Rossa and then saw the gap there and went for it, licked the stamp and sent it to overtake 2 cars there. And now meanwhile this is De Rossa, who is attempting to get back past Gal towards the first corner. Roque meanwhile attempting to get back past Wilson, and Lopez meanwhile attempting to pass Mojin, although Mojin has gone very wide, and Lopez says thank you very much and takes away 13th place. Anderson all over the McLaren of De Rossa, who is falling back rapidly, and he's now down to 10th. Might even be down to 11th if Wilson can get through into the first corner, which he hasn't. But now Lopez attacking Roque for 12th. Wilson attacking De Rossa. And yes, Wilson passes De Rossa for 10th. Now Roque will attack De Rossa in towards the first corner. He needs to do it now because he's got a fast charging Mercedes on his back as they head in towards turn 1. Will Roque be able to make the move stick on the struggling Italian? And the answer is yes, he does. He's now up into 11th. And now Lopez is going to be all over the back of De Rossa, heading up towards turn 3. And so as we look at Lopez, he's looking to the left, he's going to go for it on the right. He's going to have a look, but tries to do a little bit of the switch back there, but he's unable to make it stick. But he's still in the slipstream, so he's easily going to make it coming into the next corner. And yet Lopez on the inside, this should be a comfortable move, and it is. He's up into 12th place. So yep, Lopez making very quick progress back up the order. So he's now up to 12th. He's only 2 places off the points already, so I think points are certainly on the cards. Meanwhile, speaking of Armar Carr, he is in to the pits for his first stop of the race on lap 18. So this could be maybe a 3-stop if he's coming this early, but we shall see. Change over tires. Let's have a look at the fuel. It's pretty light, so yeah, I think this is more than likely going to be a 3-stop. Quick stop there from Mercedes in their newly liveried car, which I have to say I think it looks quite good, in my opinion. So Carr comes out on the track. Is he going to come out actually behind Rahul Patel? Now, this would be interesting. If he comes out behind Patel, Carr will have to make an overtake on him, and that will give good advantage to Chung to stay ahead. Meanwhile, Chris Chatfield in the pits for his first stop of the race. He's kind of been battling with his teammate all this race, and so he's in. And the question is, will he be on a 3-stop as well? Changes all 4 tyres, and fuel wise that's 20. So yep, I think probably it could be a 3-stop. And meanwhile, this is Carr, who's now going after Patel. This is for 4th place, and already has got back past the Indian drivers, so that didn't take long at all. Actually, meanwhile, Roman Quag is looking at getting after Patel as well. The pit stop's now starting to happen. Meanwhile, we've got a big gaggle of cars here in the lower reaches of the points. Lopez, who actually is still stuck in this traffic, he's not actually got past Roque yet. And the Haas of Wilson trying to make a move on the inside into turn 1. Does she make a stick? And the answer is yes. I think she has. Yep, she has moved up past Anderson for 8th place into the first corner. Roque not quite close enough to make a move on Anderson. Lopez not quite close to make a move on Roque, although Roque is defending hard into turn 3, sorry. And now this is Roque attacking Mojin. This is for another point, and can Roke make it on the inside? The answer is no. He can't get. Oh no, yes he can, because Anderson has gone wide. So Roke moves up into 9th place, and he's actually pitting on this same lap. Anderson, so his tyres has gone. Meanwhile, Moichin is looking at getting after Lopez, and maybe even passing Moichin as well. He's going to go for it, and he does. He passes both Lopez and his teammate Anderson. So good teamwork there, I guess you could say, for Aston Martin. Lopez still hasn't got past any of these guys as well, so his progress has been halted a little bit, and it will not help with the fact that Moichin kind of just mugged him off, you could say, around at that corner. So meanwhile, Laura Chung's still leading. She's going to be pitting soon. Gamba will as well, and so will Galloway. So they're all on similar strategies, which is going to be, I say similar strategies, well, it is similar. It's surely going to be 2 stops for those 3. Meanwhile, Lopez now looking at Anderson coming into the penultimate corner. And can I make a stick? The answer is yes. He's up another position. Anderson now goes into the pits. So Lopez now back into the points, I believe. So meanwhile, this is Chatford who's attempting to get past Fraser. And can he make a stick? The answer is he's going to go for it. The answer is yes. Chatfield passes Fraser into turn 1. Meanwhile, this is Lopez now on the back of Roland Moichin in the Aston Martin. And is he going to be able to make a late move into turn 1? He's a little bit far back, but he's going to go for it. And on fresher tyres and in a quicker car, Lopez makes that move stick very easily. He's now up into 8th position. Although Moichin is still on the slipstream, so he might even possibly ever go back at Lopez. Although Lopez would not be happy with an Aston Martin trying to re-overtake him. Meanwhile, this is looking at Franco Gamba, who himself is coming into the pits on this lap. I don't know if Galloway's doing the same. I believe he is still going, so he's gone past the pits. And yep, there we go. Franco Gamba now into the pits for his first stop of the race, and this is going to be for a 2-stop, you would think. So he comes in, it will change all 4 tyres, and we should see how much fuel he puts in. And yep, it's a long stint for Gamba, so it is certainly going to be a 2-stopper, that is for sure. Although the pit stop seems to be a bit slow actually from Red Bull. 9.2 seconds, not exactly the quickest there from Red Bull. It seemed exceptionally slow for whatever reason. And so Gamba now comes out actually behind Rahul Patel. So again, if his pit stop was a few seconds quicker, may have come out in front. It could be a little bit different, but he'll have to overtake his teammate out on track. And yeah, looking now at Nicholas Gow, I think that was just in the pits. Laura Chung leading, but she's coming into the pits this lap. I don't know if Jake Galloway is as well, because his fuel was similar to these 3. But if he does have enough fuel, he may go for 1 more, but I doubt he'll go for more than that. So Chung now into the pits for her first stop of the race. Obviously inherited the lead after Lopez's freak pit stop because of that stray wheel from Peridin. So Chung is just about to come into a pit box, which is the very last one, right at the end of the pit lane, and here it is. It's finally there, and she is going to be on the 2-stop. So Chung will come out of the pits. Let's see how quick this stop is. It doesn't seem particularly quick from Lambo, and it's not. It's 9.6. It's not quick at all, really. So she comes out of the pits, and let's see where she comes out on the circuit. And Galloway did come in actually, so Chung does come out actually behind Armand Carr. So Armand Carr has jumped Lord Chung in the pit stops. Now that is interesting. Now can Carr keep up that advantage, or will Chung be able to overtake him quickly, being on fresher tyres than Carr? We shall see. Meanwhile, Lopez is about to come in for his first legitimate pit stop. Of course, I say that because of course the pit stop we have with the front wing was an unscheduled stop. So he comes in, and so I would imagine, and well, he is definitely going to be on the 2-stop. And it is, there we go. Going to be coming in fairly late. Meanwhile, Roland Moichin in the Aston Martin is also going to be coming in as well. He's just a little bit, he's just in front there. You can see the crew changing his tyres as well. So Lopez will come out on the track. It looks like behind the Williams of Jamie Griffiths, and so now reaches the red limiter and now can go for it. We're looking at Lopez coming out of the pits. He comes out, looks like in P12. Meanwhile, this is Amelia Wilson, who pitted a little bit of time ago, and she is attacking Miguel Gow in the AlphaTauri. And yep, she makes it up past Gal into the first corner. Meanwhile, we're looking at, that was the Williams of Felix Sonntag, actually, who's having a good race so far. Meanwhile, this is Lopez going past the Williams of Jamie Griffiths, and that was a simple move, and he's now up into 11th, and he'll be making progress very, very quickly. And he's got a number of cars that he'll catch up to very quickly. He's on fresh tyres, and also, I was about to say one of the quickest cars. That's not necessarily the case. Meanwhile, Roke goes past Quag for, that was 13th position, an unlucky number for some. And so we look through the rest of the order. Still 20 cars at this moment in this race. And speaking of cars, Armand Car is in to the pits, so he is on a 3-step strategy, as we expected. So Chung retakes the lead, and temporarily it is a Lamborghini 1-2, and not anymore, because Franco Gamba has passed Patel into turn 1 for 2nd position, and Galloway right up on Patel's tail. So Gamba was relieved to get that move done. Otherwise Patel, otherwise I should say Galloway might get past Patel, and Patel wasn't holding up Gamba for much longer. Meanwhile, Kupok going past Willows, 7th place into the first corner, and Lopez, of course, now back up into 9th position, trying to make as much progress as he can up the order. And he's about to overtake Willows, coming up to the pit entry. Of course, it's a very dodgy pit entry, this one, right on the kind of exit corner. I suppose where else can you have it, really, I suppose. Meanwhile, Felix Sonntag is in for his first pit stop, I believe. He's not made a stop yet, so he has done a good job so far in this race. And Chatfield looking up towards the first corner at Lopez, but unable to make a stick now. Meanwhile, Lopez himself is going to have a go at Willows, heading up towards turn 1. He's edging alongside the Brits, and I think he's going to get it done, and the answer is yes. So he moves up into P6 there, and Chatfield looking at Willows, and meanwhile George Roke, actually, who's caught up to these guys, looking to make an overtake as well. And we're looking now at the Mercedes of Carr, who is behind Galloway, who Patel is still holding up, and Patel, who is finally coming in, having gone nearly 50 laps. I know it's 6 laps before, but nearly 50 laps on one set of tyres. But finally, Galloway overtakes him just as Patel is pitting, which of course is typical luck, really. And so Patel now, as they head towards the final couple of corners, and Carr is going for it on the inside. Does he make a stick? The answer is yes, crucially, before Patel goes into the pits, so no harm done, because we've seen incidents and big hold-ups at that final corner when drivers come into the pits and when they're side by side. Fortunately, no incidents have happened here yet today. So Chatfield behind the McLaren of this is, I think it's Willows, I believe. And can he make it on the inside? The answer is no, because actually he's going into the pits, and that's exactly what I was talking about right there. And Willows did come in and held up these guys quite a lot, and so now Roke looking to make an overtake past the Ferrari of Chatfield. He's not close enough coming into turn 1, so there's no chance that's going to happen there, but if he gets a good enough exit off the corner, he can get the slipstream. Meanwhile, Patel has just come out ahead of these guys, which is crucial in the order. Now, meanwhile, Roke's got the slipstream of Patel, and Roke's going to go past Chatfield. A great move. Would he go after Patel as well? The answer is no. He can't quite pass him there, but he does move up one position, Roke, so that is a good move by him. You could say that. So Patel comes out in 6th position, which is about where he was before he went into the pits, actually. So I think that's probably, I'd say, a relatively good stint for Patel in the Lambo. Excuse me. So as we look, Laura Chung at the moment still in the lead of this race, as Jamie Griffiths does a bit of a lock-up there, coming in towards that corner there, and he is right at the back of the grid again. Had a decent start to the race, but has become pretty anonymous. But at the moment, order wide, it is Chung first, Gamba second, and Patel goes wide, coming into the penultimate corner there, and struggling on the tyres that he's on. And you can see locks up and goes wide, and very lucky not to collect anyone as he rejoins there. So he's lucky he didn't collect the Ferrari Chatfield, who actually had to take avoiding action there, and had to go to the right, and fortunately no harm done. And so we're looking through the order at the moment, Chung leading comfortably. Things are going her way right now, and could she get Lamborghini's first win in the top tier of the OC? Meanwhile, this is the two AlphaTauris battling each other. Kupok actually goes for it very late, coming through and into the final corner, but Gal holds it around the outside and keeps the position there. That was the battle for 14th position. Meanwhile, Chatfield does come into the pits, and actually I forgot, he was fairly high up the order. He was around about the top 5, I think, before his first stop. But he's not really made much progress, and he's actually, I think, now been lapped by Laura Chung, in fact, so it's not been a good race for him. And actually, De Rossa, by the way, is in 16th place, and that is pretty darn awful, to say the least, considering where he started. He started in 3rd position, and he's trying to go after the AlphaTauri behind. As meanwhile, we're looking at the current Ferrari. This is of, I think this is Jake Galloway trying to go past. No, sorry, it's Chatfield, excuse me. And Willows actually manages to sneak his way back through. So for Chatfield, his race not going much better. As Moichin now makes a move on the inside of Kupok. And although Kupok gets a good run off the corner, might actually keep the position. And meanwhile, Chatfield now alongside Willows. And can he make the move, stick up the inside? The answer is no, he can't actually. Willows keeps it around the outside, gets a better run, and keeps the position there. So good job from him. And so meanwhile, Franco Gamba in the Red Bull is coming up to all these cars that he's about to lap. Meanwhile, Lopez coming in for his final stop of the race. 21 laps of fuel, so he's going to go for it. So he's going to get a comfortable points position. The question is, where will that be? What position will that be? He's got Patel in front of him, but I think Lopez should easily get him because he's going to be on much fresher tyres, to say the least. We're looking at Felix Sontag in 9th, who's on a one stop actually, and he's doing a pretty good job. And actually, let's shout out Amelia Wilson too, who's running in the points and trying to get her first points finish of the season. Willows battling with the AlphaTauri here, trying to move up the order into 10th to get the last point. Chatfield behind, also a big gaggle of cars in the battle for just the last point. And meanwhile, this is Carr on the back of Jake Galloway. Gamba now in for his final stop. Carr now looking to go after the Ferrari Galloways. They head up towards... can he make it up there? No. And Carr now pits. So he comes out in, I think that was 4th. Meanwhile, the battle for the lower points places is on. I say lower points places, I mean place. Because, the AlphaTauri is the one at the front of it. Meanwhile, Galloway trying to get through all this traffic. He's pitting this lap as well. And he's actually about to lap his teammate as well. And, oh, Laura Cho's got a problem. Oh no, this is not good. This is not good. Can Laura Chung make it to the pits in time? She's had a very comfortable race so far, and she might get away with the fact that Galloway is pitting this lap as well if she can make it back. And meanwhile, George Rodriguez in the pits as well. And so Laura Chung about to come into the pits. And yeah, there we go. She has made it back to the pits in time, which is very, very lucky, to say the least, because, I mean, she could have retired then and there. Excuse me. And so Chung is coming in, and so crucially she will get that problem fixed, and she will go back out onto the circuit. I mean, fortunately, I think Chung has been saved by the fact she had actually quite a comfortable gap to Galloway as well, which I think has definitely helped things. So Chung comes in to the pits, and oh my word, there's about 5 cars side by side at this moment in time, and I don't know what was going on there. There's a big battle, but temporarily, of course, Gamba now into 2nd position, but Chung crucially comes out ahead of Franca Gamba and retains the lead, so that failure has not affected her, and now, of course, she is on fresher tyres. So, I mean, she got a bit lucky there, I guess you could say, with the pit stop, but hey-ho, this is the OC, so anything can happen. But Laura Chung does retain the lead despite that brief scare, and there was a Haas as well that was just coming to the pits. I believe that was Amelia Wilson. And so at the moment Gamba in 2nd position, but pretty soon I think he's going to have Carr breathing down his neck, so I think he's got to be careful here. Meanwhile, Chatfield behind Joseph Willis in the battle for the last point. Willis, who's had a bit of a scrappy race actually, he's had a bit of a quiet one. Meanwhile, Galloway's in again, so hold on a second. Why is Jake Galloway in for another stop? He just pitted and he goes wide, and he hits the curb, loses a bit of his wing, and goes into the wall. And Jake Galloway is extremely lucky to not retire from this race. And yeah, but unfortunately he has thrown away a top 4. So Patel, by the way, now into the top 4, although as we can see, he's now got Franco Lopez behind him. And meanwhile, George Rook has got past Sontag, who was running in 6th place, and Galloway now trying to recover more positions as well. And Chatfield now trying to go after Willows once again for the final point. As we know in the OC, every point counts. So, as we're looking at Griffiths at the moment, running in 16th. He's again had a very lonely race. Meanwhile, this is Lopez going for 4th position in towards the first corner. And does he make the move stick? The answer is yes. And yet he is up into 4th position, although Patel is not going to give this up without a fight. Although I think Lopez is surely going to be able to keep the position, and he does. So Lopez now up into P4 there. So good job by the Argentinian, and a good recovery as well. He's now into the top 4, which I think he definitely thoroughly deserves. I don't think he's going to be able to get much further than that, but just imagine if he didn't. And oh my word, Willows, and he goes wide, and that allows Chatfield to go up into P10 as they're heading up towards the start-finish straight. Although Willows is going to try and get the position straight back here, and Willows is going to try and get 10th straight away from Chatfield, and he does. Chatfield again, despite the fact he got ahead, just didn't have a good run off the final corner and just allowed Willows very easily to get the position back there. And meanwhile, they've got the Alfa Romeo behind looking to make a move and try to get up into the points. And meanwhile, Quag trying to go for it on the inside of Chatfield. Does he make it stick? The answer is that he was briefly past him, but he stays behind Chatfield for now. But a very scary moment there for Willows, but he just about manages to keep himself in 10th position. And Carr at the moment running in P3 and Lopez in P4. I don't think he's going to be able to get anything more out of this race, Lopez, but again, he'll be just so gutted that wheel screwed him over. And oh, speaking of being screwed over, and Romain Quag is not going to finish this race. His engine, as you can see, has clearly gone, and so he was running close to the points. He was in a battle for the points, but unfortunately, of course, now he's going to be getting precisely zilch from this race. So, as you can see, the smoke bellowing out of his engine, so that clearly is going to be going nowhere, and pretty soon he will be pulling off to the side of the circuit and retiring the car, as De Rossa, who, by the way, I will remind you, had started in 3rd position and is running way outside of the points. And meanwhile, Jake Galloway has set the fastest lap, as you just saw there. He's running in 7th. He's only 2.8 seconds off of Roke, although he hasn't got many laps left, so if he wants to pass Roke and move up another position, he's got to do it now. But Quag still managing to go nearly the whole lap with this blown engine, and as he heads towards the final couple of corners, and I think, yep, now it has finally gone, and so he's going to pull off to the side onto the runoff area as he heads now down towards the final corner, and there we go. He is retiring from this race, although it's with 4 laps left, so he could still be classified, you know. There's not a lot long left, so he might have just about done enough to be classified. But we are now on to the final lap of the race, and this is your race leader, Laura Chung, who is only 1 lap away from taking Lamborghini's first win in the top class. And of course, well, Laura Chung's first win for Lamborghini as well. Lamborghini's first win in the top class. So many records to be broken here. And so Laura Chung, I mean, she took the lead after Lopez's unfortunate experience with a wheel, and never really looked back. I mean, she had control of this, to be honest, and even despite obviously having that failure before the pits, fortunately it didn't really phase her. And of course, crucially, she did come out ahead of Franco Gama. If she didn't, might have been a different ball game. But nonetheless, it's all worked in Laura Chung's favour, and she comes around the final corner for the 71st and final time, and Laura Chung is the winner of the Austrian Grand Prix, and Lamborghini are a winner in the OC. Congratulations to them. Franco Gama takes 2nd position again. Didn't do that much this race, to be honest, but gets 2nd. Willows just about holds on for 10th position. In the end, Amar Carr does take 3rd position in the blue Mercedes. De Rossa in 13th, Julius Anderson 14th. Lopez recovers to 4th place. That's a personal best, not quite the fastest lap though. Patel, I mean, 5th position on the one stop, I guess it's not too bad. Griffiths 15th, Fraser 16th, Gal 17th, Moichin 18th, George Roke, who had a pretty dull race in the first half, but does recover to get 6th place. I guess that's not too bad. Galloway will take 7th in the end. Sontag as well. Shout out to him. He is going to take 8th place, and this is, I believe, his first points finish of the season. He comes across the line in 8th position. He'll be very happy with that. And meanwhile, Amelia Wilson as well, who hadn't scored any points before today, she finally is going to score her first points of the season, and she comes across the line in P9. And there we go. The race is now over, and we're going to take a look at the final race results and, of course, drivers and constructor standings. So, Laura Chun wins ahead of Franco Gama in 2nd, Almar Carr 3rd, Franco Lopez 4th, Rahul Patel 5th, George Roke 6th, Jake Galloway 7th, Felix Sontag 8th, Amelia Wilson 9th, and Joseph Wilson complete the points in 10th. And meanwhile, Laura Chung also did get the fastest lap, so she gets that extra bonus point, so she must have nabbed it on the last lap. Chris Chaffel was 11th, David Keefock 12th, Russell Dorosa 13th, Judy Sanderson 14th, Jeremy Curtis 15th, Daniel Fraser 16th, Nicholas Gal 17th, Brenna Moyton 18th, Andrea Federi 19th, and Roman Quark still classified, despite that engine failure late on, with the 2 Renaults being the only DNFs in the race. So we are now going to take a look at the drivers and constructors standings. So the gap between Carr and Gamba is now only 7 points. It is very close between the front two. Frankie Lopez also moves up into 4th place. Laura Chung with that win moves all the way up into 7th, and moves all the way up from the low reach of the top 10 up to in the mid-pack of the top 10. The rest of the order movements include, well, there's not many movements, but it's, Felix Sontag moves up into 20th, Wilson 21st, and now it means that Andrea Federi is the only driver in the season who's yet to score a point. So that is currently an unwanted record, which he'll want to put to right soon. In the constructors, meanwhile, Mercedes on 199 points, Red Bull second, 176, Renault third, ahead of Ferrari in 4th. Lamborghini with their big points haul move ahead of McLaren into 5th, Aston Martin in 7th, AlphaTauri 8th, Alfa Romeo 9th, Haas 10th, and Williams last with 10 points at this moment in time. And it was, of course, no surprise, Laura Chung who was given driver of the day for winning this race. And so there you have it. That was the Austrian Grand Prix at the Red Bull Ring. The next round we'll see you at the British Grand Prix at Silverstone. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget, as usual, give the video a like, check out our links in the description, check out our Twitter, join our Discord, check out our Wikia page. Thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you the next round in Britain. Goodbye.